What's up people, welcome back to the channel. Thought I'd do a bit of a different video today. I'm sure you're all absolutely sick of me or going on about protein intake, 2.2 grams per kilo of body weight, drink your water, hit your macros, TDE, I've probably bored you all to death at this point and I'm kind of sending myself to sleep repeating the same tips. So I thought I'd do something a bit different today and just give you a bit more of an insight into how I actually got to this point in my life and a bit of background about who I am. And so it's likely to be quite a lengthy video, so if you do make it to the end you'll be entered into a prize draw to win a pack of Freddos, so stick around for that. And it's gonna be a long one, but anyway, where do we start? So I'm 28 years old. I know I've got a bit of baby face, but I am actually that old. 28, from Milton Keynes, which is a town sort of halfway between Birmingham and London in the UK, if you're not from the UK. And yeah, just relatively small city. Grew up around here, nice place to grow up, to be honest. And went to school around here, and then I was always sort of academic in school. Always had that attitude of like just putting the work in, and I've got decent memory, so I felt like I was pretty decent in exams because I could just memorise stuff, to be honest. I can't remember anything now from uni days, whatever, but it sort of always came naturally to me. So I knew I wanted to go to uni, but I didn't really know what I wanted to study. In the end, I kind of just went off to uni in York in the north of England. Really nice place, love it there. Met so many good people, had a class time at uni, and studied maths, but I didn't really know what I wanted to do with my life and where I wanted to go. So I kind of settled on studying it just because I didn't really know what I was doing. And it was only the first time I went to the gym, I was after the second year of uni, after the first year of uni, sorry. So between my first and second year, when I was sort of 20, the first time I sort of really got into a gym and a consistent routine and just sort of fell in love with it, really. And then for the last couple of years of uni, I was just training consistently, but with no idea on the nutrition side of things. Did what everyone else did. Got my protein shake in, and straight after my workout, thinking you need to get it in 20 minutes after your workout. You're not going to get any gains, but not sort of having the knowledge to actually know whether I'm in a deficit or a surplus or maintenance, or how to actually put on muscle mass. And so I was just going through the motions, really, like picking up the basics of training, doing like a classic bro split like everyone does when they start out. So your Monday chest, Tuesday back, arms, etc. And just sort of not making that much progress, but I just loved the process, and I really enjoyed training. So that's kind of when my love for training kind of started, and I started training consistently. But as I say, I kind of plateaued for a couple of years in terms of progress after my newbie gains, because I wasn't really increasing my knowledge of training and nutrition and things like that at this point. So anyway, so I went through uni, had 4 years at uni in York, and then when it came round to sort of the final year of uni, I had a couple of good friends of mine that I live with that had done internships at banks, and a lot of people in my course, naturally, in doing if you're doing a scientific subject, a lot of people end up with a maths and economics background going into like financial services if you don't know what else you want to do. So I ended up seeing my friends making some decent money between term times, like summer internships and things like that. So I thought, why not? I'll apply for that as well. And so I just sort of smashed the internship applications, got a summer internship between my third and fourth year of uni, and then as a result of that, started a job in London after graduating when I was 22. So then I'd gone away travelling that summer. Really passionate about travelling, really enjoy it. Went away to South America, to Asia for a month. Absolutely love travelling, and it still is one of my main hobbies to this day. Came back, this would have been September 2015, and started a graduate scheme in London in financial services, doing basically accounting and a variety of finance roles. So yeah, started in London around the end of 2015, doing some different jobs in investment banks, and just getting some good experiences, meeting some great people. I've got great friends from my jobs there that I still am in touch with a lot, so I don't necessarily regret the path I chose. But I always had this feeling that from taking my training from uni and then transitioning into a work routine in London, I just found that my training went up a notch. Because my schedule was much easier to follow, and I had consistent times of the day. I was obviously working like 9 and 5, except obviously not 9 and 5 was longer than that, but you have that schedule that you're following, so it's a lot easier to know, right, I'm going to go to the gym at lunch, or I'm going to go to the gym before work or after work. So I just slipped into this really efficient routine where I was just absolutely nailing the gym like 4 or 5 times a week consistently, from sort of 22, 23 onwards. But at the same time, my diet was not in check, and although I was making a conscious effort to bulk and put on size, I definitely was overshooting the calories. So that's another sort of key mistake that I've kind of tried to learn from and teach others, is not overestimating your activity levels and how much you're doing. At this point, I had no concept of daily steps, which none of you, if you follow me on Instagram, will probably believe, because every second story I'm posting is me doing steps. So love them these days, but it's at that point I was not really that active, and I was just going to the gym and then ensuring I was in a calorie surplus and eating too much, drinking too much, and just put on a lot of fat really. A fair bit of muscle. I built quite a lot of muscle as well, but I was just overshooting calories and sort of binging a bit, to be honest. And I think what I realised during this period was I was sort of making the most of the money I was earning and the time outside of work to socialise with friends and to and just to enjoy life in London really. But I definitely felt I wasn't sure where I was going, and I was just sort of completing an accountancy qualification and going through the motions, not sure in my direction in life. And I think by going out so much at the weekends, I got in this bad habit of, especially in the first couple of years in London, I was just going out every Friday and Saturday for the sake of it, and just doing work drinks, doing too many drinks, like Wednesday, Thursdays, any day of the week really, just trying to fill my time outside work, so much so that I was just not taking care of my sleep at all. And then obviously, because I was going out so much drinking and socialising, seeing mates, going out for dinners, I was just not giving myself any downtime, any opportunity to recover, and obviously didn't make that much progress in the gym because my body was so fatigued, and I was having to rely on caffeine a lot to get a lot of caffeine and things like that to get through my workouts and my tough work days at work, right? So I definitely learned in that period that I was essentially just filling a void, and although I'm grateful for the opportunities I've had in that line of work, I kind of knew deep down that I needed to make a change at some point, and probably wasn't for me long term. And I think by going out on the weekends and as I say, just channeling my money and my focus into other areas of life, I was just basically just trying to fill my life with short-term pleasures, and these dopamine hits each weekend to basically fill a void of not being happy in my work and not having that clear direction. And then at this point, so sort of a couple of years into my jobs in London, sort of 2017, 2018 now, I've settled into London. I'm enjoying London life. Got a lot of good mates there. Just going out a bit too much and not really sort of taking control of my sleep and my progress in the gym and things like that. I'd sort of stalled. And I always remember just speaking to the PTs that I knew. I'd sort of got friendly with a lot of the PTs in the jobs that I've done in the past, and I was just always interested to hear like their stories and like how they got into it. I was always inquisitive about how I could actually do the qualification. Like I remember as early as sort of like 2017, 2018, maybe even before, like asking personal trainers in the gyms that I went to about the qualification and about like their route and how you get into it and all that. But I think naturally as humans we just put off doing hard things, right, and procrastinate. So it took me a while to process the fact that I probably wanted to pursue a personal training qualification, and it was something that I always just said I was going to do and never actually got around to it. I was just giving it all chat at that point. And then I think the pandemic has kind of got to the point now where everyone's sort of realising the value of their time, and the more time that we spend at home with our families and friends and less time commuting and things like that, people have realised what's actually really important in life. And I think the fact that we haven't been able to travel for 18 months and do the things that we normally can and that we take for granted, it makes you appreciate things a bit more. And I think that was probably a kick up the arse I needed in terms of just going after your goals and not messing about anymore, not wasting any more time. So fast forward from sort of like 2017, 2018 in those jobs to working at other banks, and then working back from home during the pandemic, and in this last year, I think it got to last September 2020, where it just a penny dropped, and I figured that I had to find time. Like I'd always used the fact that I was in a job as an excuse not to do my personal training qualification, and I don't have the time, I'll do it, I'll do it when I have time, etc. And then one day a penny just dropped, and I thought, right, if I'm not going to do it now, then I'm never going to do it, am I? So I decided, like about a year to the day now, sort of September 2020, that I needed to make time to do my personal training qualification and to set up my business. So I quit my job, really well paid job, nice stable income. I was earning quite a lot, living back home, saving money. It was all cushy, but I just felt unfulfilled and had this burning passion to just go after my goals. So I thought, I'm just going to do it, see what's the worst that can happen. And then anyway, I then spent October, November, December 2020 last year completing my personal training qualification in lockdown in the UK, so the second lockdown, and just utilising my time to smash through the qualification, and then set up my business sort of earlier at the start of this year. So I had a lot of help and a great support network around me, which I'm really appreciative of. One of my good friends helped me build the website, so I'm really appreciative of that. And I was really excited setting up my coaching business at the start of this year. So it's been a great first 6 to 8 months of my coaching experience, and putting all the knowledge that I've learned to date, and self-taught knowledge on training, nutrition, all the lessons that I've learned along the way. I've made so many mistakes on my sleep, not managing my stress, drinking too much, going out, eating too much, not tracking my calories, not looking at protein intake properly, you know, and just managing my work-life balance better, managing my time better, things like that. So everything that I've learned along the way, and been focusing on leveling up my knowledge of training and nutrition and things like that, all of that I've looked to put back into my coaching business at the start of this year, and just basically help everyone else out there to not make the same mistakes that I have, and, you know, to basically encourage others to follow their passion, or to you know, just basically take action if there's something that you've been thinking about doing for a while, and whether that be getting in shape, you're losing a bit of weight, a career change, or, you know, doing whatever makes you happy, whatever it is, just go after it and start taking action. Because I guess I wish that I'd done that maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and you know, built this up alongside my jobs earlier. But, you know, nevertheless, no regrets. We are where we are now, and we move forward, and I'm so passionate about moving forward and just basically helping as many people as can transform as many lives as possible, and just put information out there that helps people. And yeah, excited to see what the future holds over the next few years. Yeah, just really looking forward to seeing how I progress, and just to keep leveling up my knowledge and to see where I can go. But that is an overall sort of summary of how I went from one path, just doing what I thought you had to do in terms of you know, going to university, getting a degree, and then going down a certain path that I didn't know where else to go. And then it's only really through trial and error and doing different types of jobs and things like that that you'll figure it out. And then, you know, this is how I got to this point at 28. So having sort of had a massive career change in the last year, but, you know, now I can look back on the last year and compare myself both physically and mentally in a completely different place. You know, I've lost sort of 15-16 kilos in the last year, so like 35 to 40 pounds, something like that. I'm in the best shape of my life, but that has also come with probably the most challenging period mentally for me in the last year as well, which I'll go into more detail in future videos. But that is essentially my story on how I've gone from university to a certain route of work that I finally figured out wasn't really for me, and then ended up here, you know, coaching people a lot alongside a new day job, which I'm really appreciative of, and you know, just enjoying the culture of the team and the people I'm working with in my new day job as well. So you know, definitely there's positives to draw on in the you know, if I look back a year in terms of how far I've come in just sort of 1 year of taking action. So you know, just taking action rather than saying that you're going to do something just makes a massive difference, and finally that clicked with me. So yeah, I hopefully you know, you took something from that, and it shows that you don't have to just do one path. You know, it's never too late to change the route you're going down, and yeah, hopefully that allows you to get to know me a bit better, and where I actually came from, and how I got to this point. So I hope you enjoyed the massively long videos and the background story, but that is me, and I'll go into more about my other interests outside coaching in future videos, such as like my massive passion for traveling, for sports, for seeing friends, and you know, loads of other things I'm interested in learning outside coaching. So I'll cover that in future videos to come, so that you get a better idea of what I do, other than just shout protein, macros, micros at you. And you know, that's not the only thing I do all day. But you know, until then, I'll see you on the other side. And yeah, Thank you very much if you've made it this far into this series of videos. And yeah, catch you guys in a bit. Hope you're having a good day, and I'll catch up with you in a bit. Bye.